protected me from him. Never once. And there was no bread and cheese for me. Probably Harter's stolen coins were only enough for one. The oldest of the laughing men glanced at me. Casually, he flipped a penny onto the table. "Here, boy, water my horse and his burden, the ones with yellow ribbons. There's a good lad." The penny landed midway between Harter and me. I saw the muscles of his great shoulders shift, as if he meant to reach for it. But the older man watched us, and so Harter merely nodded, as if giving permission, as if he were some sort of gracious lord. Harter! Hatred burned behind my eyes. I snatched the penny and went outside. The day was soft and clear, traces of the golden-orange sunrise still in the sky, and the rough grass smelling of last night's rain. I fetched water from the stable-yard well, both for the horse and for the ram tethered in the cart, its horns bright with yellow ribbons. More wagons arrived at the inn, farmers arriving for the fair. Their cart wheels groaned under loads of vegetables, sheep, baskets, children. "The caravan comes! I saw it!" a child shrieked, leaning so far over the side of his wagon that he nearly fell out. "I saw it!" "Hush your noise," his young mother said fondly. She wore a lavender dress and lavender ribbons in her hair, and her hand strayed to stroke her little lad's soft curls. Bitterness ran through me like vomit. Harter would make me do it. He would make me cross over, lying concealed in the back of our worn and faded fair booth. That was why we had come here, and to make it happen he would beat me first, as he had all the other times. I was no longer 6 years old. I was 14, and as tall as Harter, but I was skinny. How could I be otherwise, when I got so little to eat? And narrow-shouldered. Harter could lift a cask of new ale on each shoulder and not even sweat. But now I had a penny. Could I run away on that? On a single penny, and the memory of my dead mother in her lavender dress? No, I could not. Where would I go? And yet I dreamed of escape. Sometimes I gazed at Harter and was frightened by the violence of my desire to do him violence. But Harter had told me and Aunt Jo of finding the bodies of lone travellers on the roads of the Queendom, set upon by highwaymen, robbed and gutted. After such stories I huddled in my thin blanket and went nowhere. My stomach rumbled. I took the penny round back to the kitchen and exchanged it for breakfast, which I gobbled standing up in the stable-yard. A girl leaned against the well. There were other girls here now, climbing down from wagons or trailing behind their families into the inn. They wore their best outfits, wool skirts dyed green or red or blue hiked up over striped petticoats, black stomachers laced tight over embroidered white smocks, ribbons in their hair. This one was no prettier, no more bright-eyed, no better dressed than the others, although she wore black lace mitts on her hands. But she watched me. The rest of the girls looked through me as if I were a patch of hair, or else their eyes narrowed and their pink lips turned down in disgust. Dirty, weak, homeless. But this girl watched me thoughtfully, a heavy bucket of water dangling from one hand and weighing down her shoulder. Something bright and terrifying raced through me. She knew. But of course that was nonsense. Nobody knew about me except my aunt and the bastard she had married, and sometimes I think even my aunt doubted. He can do what? Does he merely pretend? But Aunt Jo said so little, serving Harter in such cringing silence, that it was impossible to tell what she thought except that she wished I had not come to her on her sister's death. That wish was evident every moment of every day. But even so, she didn't wish it as fervently as I. However, there had been nowhere else for me to go. My mother dead, my father vanished before I had any memory of him. Aunt Jo would never talk of either, no matter how much I begged. And now, all these years later, still nowhere else for me to go. The girl nodded at me and walked off with her heavy bucket. Her long black hair braids swung from side to side. Her pretty figure grew smaller as she walked away from me, so that it almost seemed as if she were disappearing, dissolving into the soft morning light. "There you are," Harter's voice said behind me. "Getting breakfast, are you?"